Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. I'm here to share my Thrifty finds for the past week. So this is my Thrifty Tuesday video. And so again, this week I went through boxes from my garage that I'm trying to clean out. And I described that in my video last week where my son is taking over our garage for his mechanic business that's kind of like on the side, business and hobby. So my husband had brought in 4 boxes. This is the second box of books, and I've got two stacks of books here. I'm going to try to get through them pretty quickly. The other 2 boxes are just photo albums and photos and paper. I found a bunch of cardstock and even a paper cutter that I totally apparently forgot about. So I'm going to get those out and start using that stuff. But besides that, and the other box, the 4th box, that was the 3rd and 4th box. So the 4th box was is all wrapped up in newspaper, little glass items and things like that, collectible like glass and, you know, depression glass and things like that. So I do need to go through that and figure out what I'm going to do. And I don't know if I'll share that with you. Maybe if you can let me know, because it's not like junk journal or crafting related. If you want to see the box of depression glass and things, it's not all depression glass. It might not be any depression glass. But it's old glass. You know what I mean? Old ceramic and glass. There might be some teapots in there. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been a while since I looked at that stuff. But if you want to see it, comment in under this video. You know, yes, we'd like to see, or if I don't get any comments about it, I won't really mess with it. But just to go through the books real quick, and I'll tell you what my thoughts on what I'm going to do with them. So the first stack is things I'm going to probably mostly not keep. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I'm just going to say not keep. So like this is a book that apparently my son got it as maybe a prize or a gift from his, I think this is his kindergarten teacher. And so she says, "May you always have a love for reading." And so he went to a really awesome elementary school here in North Carolina. We moved here when he was starting kindergarten. So yeah, he got this book, and there's another Arthur book here somewhere. I think he got those 2 Arthur books from his teacher in kindergarten. So I'm going to show those to him and see if he wants those. If he probably doesn't remember them, but maybe. I mean, he did love Arthur, the cartoon, and reading the books. So we'll see if he wants those. And then this is a little kind of a comic book from both my boys are in Boy Scouts. This says Boy Scouts of America on here. I would think it's really cool. I wish I had more of these, but my husband was a Cub Master, and both my boys were in, you know, Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. So this is a little Boy Scout comic book. I think it's really cool. And it's like the front is shiny, and the inside is kind of like newsprint, but it's comics. So I probably am going to keep this. I think it's really cool. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, but that is something I have to decide on that one. Now the next few, these are going to be this is not keep, but I think it's really cool. It is a Dr. Seuss book, and there is a bunch of Dr. Seuss books I'm keeping. So this might go with the Dr. Seuss books. Let me put that over there, and then I'll kind of keep all the Dr. Seuss books together. Here's an insect book. This must have been one of my boys' books. You know, I don't particularly like insects, so, you know, yeah, it's a boy thing. I was surprised to see the date on here. Let's see. The Boy Scout book, I looked for a date. The comic book, I looked for a date on that. I didn't see one. This bug book is 2001 copyright. This is actually 1999 Pokemon. I was like, you know, it seems like Pokemon is not that old, but my boys did, when they were young, you know, pretty young, collect the little toys. Now, after I thought about it, I realized this was 1998 or 1999. Yeah, 1998. 1999 is the latest copyright on here. Yeah, so when I realized it was that old, like, what, 20, you know, that actually makes it vintage. This is actually vintage. But my boys did collect the, when they first came out and they were young, Pokemon came out, and they collected all those little Pokeballs from McDonald's. If y'all have kids about my kids' age, and especially the boys like Pokemon, and collected all those little Pokeballs that you got from McDonald's. They were really into them. I mean, they had them all the Pokeballs with it, and inside it opened up, and there was a little Pokemon person in there. So anyway, just a memory there. So this book, Flip and the Cows. This is pretty old. I noticed it was, I looked at the copyright. I was wiping them down earlier because, like I said, they were in my garage. This one's 1942. Pretty old book here. I don't know. It came from, the name in here is a name that was people we knew at a church and school we went to. So they must have given us some of their books. There's a couple of books in here with their names in them. So they must have given us some of their books. But this is a pretty old one, 1942 paperback, Flip and the Cows. This one also has her same, oh no, this was from my cousin. This has my cousin's name in it. And of course, you know, I'm going to keep this one, Elf book. And this is the type of book I like to make into a journal. You know, a lot of times the children's books about this size, little golden book size. So this is a keeper for me. 35 cents was the original price, and copyright is 1956. I had to read the Roman numerals there real quick, but yeah, 1956. Now this book was mine, I believe. This little dolphin book, Dolphins. I read this. Like, I don't know if you can tell that there's tape here, like packing tape on the spine. And I read this to death. It has my name right here written in it. It was stapled, but it's coming apart here. I guess that's why probably my mom taped it up. I don't know if I taped it up or my mom taped it up, but I think my mom probably did. And I read this book. It's just about, you know, it's not really even a story, I don't think. It's about real, you know, so you learn about dolphins. And it was just, at this time when I read this book a lot, I remember watching the show Flipper, if y'all remember that show, Flipper. And so I love that show, Flipper. It was about a dolphin, in case you never heard of Flipper. It was about a dolphin. It was this really cool, it was a really cool show at the time, I thought. And so, yeah, then I had this book, and it was about dolphins. So between Flipper and that, I learned a lot about dolphins. So there's some Disney books in here. Here's The Rescuers. These were, I think these, let me see if they have any kind of names. I think these were books that I picked up from my kids, possibly. Kind of hard to remember some of them, but they're both Disney, The Magic Grinder and The Rescuers. I think The Rescuers, wasn't that a cartoon too? Now this is an old one here, Book of Riddles. And, oh, this is from my another cousin. The other one was a girl cousin. This is a boy cousin from a different aunt and uncle. But let's see. Huh, that's funny that it has my cousin's name on it. I wonder if it came, I guess it came from him. Trying to see if there's a copyright in here. It has my cousin's name that is, he is 1 month, see, he was born 1 month before me. So he's 1 month older than me. So I'm not seeing a copyright right here. Oh, here we go. 1960. Okay, interesting. Because, yeah, he wouldn't have been old enough to read in 1960. But maybe he had 3 older brothers. He has 3 older brothers. So could have been one of theirs and end up with his name in here. But this is a cute little book if you've ever seen it. Book of Riddles. And just some cute little innocent jokes in here for kids, you know. An example, like they have the riddle on this side and the answer is on the back of the page. So I was reading a couple of them earlier. What time is it when an elephant sits on a fence? Time to get a new fence. Stuff like that, you know. Not really hilarious, but cute, you know. So anyway, that's an oldie. Batman comic DC. Don't know if, I'm not really, you know, I don't know much about comic books, and I don't know if this is just a kind of a, it has Claritin, so maybe it's more of an advertisement than a comic book, but it does have comics in here. And I was just going to say, do comics have a copyright, you know? That Boy Scout one did not have a copyright. And this is some about advertising allergy stuff on here, so I don't know where this came from. And I do not see a date. It's not written in, so I don't know. It's pretty cool though. I love the colors in here. So you never know what somebody might do with that, me or someone else. Oh, here's the other Arthur book, or is this the one I already showed you? Anyway, there's the Arthur book. And you'll never believe what I found, Curious George, an old one. This was in my box, so yeah, before I even started doing junk journals, I loved Curious George. If you've watched my videos, you see me kind of reacting whenever I get Curious George. I always say I love it. So this came from that friend, that same friend at church and school. It has their last name in it here, and this is a 1958 version, copyright. In excellent condition. The pages are, the cover's a little worn, but that's the one I'm going to keep. These two are football books. I think these are old. Like, I have two brothers, and I was trying to figure out what brother they were from. I think my mom gave these to me for my boys, but my boys were never really into football, so you know, they never read them, but I kept them. But neither one of my brothers were into football either. So it's like, I don't know if my brothers ever read them and where they got them, you know, because they're pretty old. This one's 1965, and this one's probably about the same age. Pretty neat graphics here, though. And this one has some cool pictures in it. Actually has really cool pictures, you know, if you're into reading about old football teams or whatever. NFL, let's see, I'm just trying to get a date here quickly for you. I know I don't have time to look at and keep you look at all the dates, but 1966 there. And then I had bought these, let's see, when I'm trying to think of around what year. I think when I would say in the first 5 or 6 years that I had gotten married, I had bought these. I was really into collecting depression glass and things like that, so I bought these two books so I could, you know, find values on things. So this is all kinds of glass, you know, old glass, antique, depression, whatever type of glasses, to learn about what they were called and, you know, how old they were and what they're worth. There's prices in here, you know, what they're worth at this time, I guess, of the time this book was made. And this wasn't cheap, $7. I mean that wasn't expensive, but you know what I mean, $7 for a paperback book. And I remember buying these at a bookstore. One of the few books I ever bought at an actual bookstore, right? Since I usually got most of them at, this says $17.95 on the back. This is a nice hardback book. And I actually found one like this at a thrift store that I have in my craft room here, that I've used some of the pages for like recipe or cookbook journals. So that's what, if you have one of these, I think these are beautiful pages of all the colorful glassware in this one. And so I think they make great pages in a cookbook journal, or, you know, I don't know if I'd want to cut one up. You'd have to cut it to fit or fold it in half, you know, this way. But look how pretty all this glassware is. And so, yeah, I was learning about glassware there. So that one. Now, the last video I showed, if you give a mouse a cookie, and so I had to get this one too, if you give a pig a pancake. So this one was read to my boys. Yeah, I like all these little cute little stories for my boys. This one is old, but I thought I bought this one for my boys. It's the Thanksgiving Story. And I remember, I thought I bought this one from school, but it's weird because it has an old date in it. So I don't really get that, why it has an old date, and I remember buying it for my boys. 1954 copyright. So, you know, I don't think it's from 1954, though. I think it's that's just the last copyright, and I had bought it, you know, when my boys were younger. Here's an old one that I think, was this given to us by someone? Oh, this was my youngest brother's. His name is in here. 5 years old. His name, he's got his name here, and it says 5 years. So someone wrote his name in here in cursive and says 5 years. So anyway, this is a Dr. Seuss, yeah. So I think I'm keeping all the Dr. Seuss books because one reason, because I collected them for my boys, and my parents gave my boys a subscription where they got, you buy a subscription like to Dr. Seuss books, and you get a new one every month for a year or two. So yeah, I have lots of Dr. Seuss books, and my boys did love Dr. Seuss, and I love Dr. Seuss. So this is Little Bear. I don't know where I got this one, but of course, you know, we love Little Bear, so Little Bear story. Here's an old Dr. Seuss. Let's see if we have a date. I mean, this is an awesome story, right? This has my cousin, both of my cousins' name. I wonder, maybe it went from one cousin to the other cousin and then to me. But yeah, that's an awesome story. This is really coming apart. So I don't know. I don't know about that one, but I still might keep it because it's awesome. I can fix it if I want, right? The pumpkin patch, this I got from a thrift store because I love pumpkins, and I just thought this was cute, and I wanted to get it for either for my kids or my future grandchildren or my niece and nephew or someone. This was mine. I read this one a lot about Thomas Edison. It has my name in it, and it's from 1964. I don't think I could read in 1964. I think I was too young to read, so there's no way I read this in 1964, but I do remember growing up with this book and reading it a lot. This one also is my book. Got a big tear here in the cover. The Lost Pony, and this one is pretty old, as you can see, but I don't remember reading this one a lot. If I read this one, I read it maybe once, and then you know, I just had it. Scholastic Book Service is way back in whatever year this is from. I don't see a copyright. That's right, I think I was looking through this one earlier and I didn't see a copyright in this one. And I don't know where it came from. Dr. Seuss here, Come Over to My House. Old one. Look at those colors. Let's see, 1966 on that one. Okay, that's one pile down. Now the next pile is going to go kind of quick, because it's all the Dr. Seuss books that I'm keeping. Half of it is Dr. Seuss. So let me just flip through them real quick here for you. Hop on Pop I'm keeping. Bear on Wheels. On the Moon. Maybe You Should Fly Jet. Look how new these look. These were from when my boys were younger. And that subscription, that's what most of these are probably from. See, there's my son's name right there. He wrote it in crayon or marker or something there. Let's see. That's my youngest son, yeah. Is there a date? 1980. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, because he was born my oldest son was not even born in 1980. He was born in 1987, so yeah, my youngest son was in the 90s, later 90s, so yeah. Anyway, Sam and the Firefly. I love that story. That's a really cute one. Here's a new, I Want to Be Somebody New. Let's see, what was the other one? Put Me in the Zoo with this guy on it. Mulberry Street, and To Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street. There's a Walk It in My Pocket. That's a good one. The Foot Book. Old Hat, New Hat. The Cat in the Hat. Mr. Brown Can Moo. Great Day for Up. I love that one. The Diggingest Dog. That's a cute story. Okay, so is that all the Dr. Seuss? Let me see. Here's one more. I Can Read with My Eyes Shut. So that might be all of Dr. Seuss. You never know when another one will pop up. But that, I'm keeping all of these. So they're going in a special place until I need them again. And these are Disney books I collected. Don't know if I bought them or they were gifts to my boys, but like I've said before, my boys love Disney books. And what better books for boys, right? Disney and Dr. Seuss, you know. Winnie the Pooh, Hercules, Toy Story. I noticed this one, I think, had my son wrote his name on the back right here. And that is funny. I wonder how old he was, because my last name is Brown, and he wrote his B backwards there. So he must have just been starting to learn how to write his name. That's pretty cute. I'll have to show him that. Dumbo, Jungle Book, Sleeping Beauty. So all those I'll probably keep. And okay, now here's some oldies. I love this one here. This is Dr. Seuss. A Fly Went By. That's an awesome story, right? Let me see. Yeah, I got to get all the Disney and the Dr. Seuss organized here. So Dr. Seuss, Disney. Okay, let's see. We got them together. Here's another Disney, Mickey Mouse and the Peanuts. Here's a Dr. Seuss. I knew some more would pop up. The Ear Book. That's an old one. I remember buying my boys this one. I don't know if they ever actually read it, but I just thought, you know, they were boys and they would like this story. But I don't know. It's, well, it doesn't look that bad to read, but I don't know if they ever read it. I just bought it because I thought they would like it, but I don't know if they ever read it. Here's a couple of these type of Walt Disney's. I thought I had more of these, but this is all that's right here. So Thumper on the Disney again, a different size. This is a golden easy reader, and this is a fun to read library. Yeah, I think I had more of these somewhere. So Thumper, Whales, Seasons and Holidays, All About You. This is kind of like a classic Dr. Seuss, The Big Jump. This is from, yeah, this was passed around in the family. Look at all the names. Let's see, is everybody here? No, my oldest cousin is not in here, but my next to the oldest, and then these are the three brothers. One of my families has, my aunt and uncles has 4 boys, so 3 of the boys are right there. This one's twice, and this one's my brother. So it was passed through all those people and then passed to me with my boys. So yeah, this one went through. That's let's see, 3 families basically. So that's Dr. Seuss. This is a Disney, and this is a Dr. Seuss. Animal Riddles, pretty cute. This is a Dr. Seuss. I'm just trying to see if it rhymes and how. I remember reading this story. I just, you know, it's not your typical Dr. Seuss with the rhyming, the real rhymey Dr. Seuss. This is a Disney, Dr. Seuss. I had them all, didn't I? I think I have just about every Dr. Seuss there is. Okay, and that is it. You saw them all. So that's another book box down. So like I said, let me know if you want to see the glassware. You know, you probably don't, so that I'm going to probably try to take to a consignment shop here in town and see if she'll take it on consignment or whatever, give me some credit to her store and, you know, type of thing. So because I don't like to sell glassware in my Etsy. It's just very scary to me to mail glassware. It's scary enough to mail journals and things, and you know, the way the post office sometimes treats your packages. Nothing against the post office, just I've had a couple, you know, incidents where it wasn't my fault, just things happen. So, you know, to send glassware is just a little bit too scary for me and too stressful. So, with the glassware, I'm going to probably, I haven't looked at it in years, so I'll have to see what I have and then decide what I'm going to do with it. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed another little walk through my memories here, and now I got more to go through and figure out what to do with. So thanks for watching, and have a great day, and see you next time.